Awesome. I pretty much have to jump on here live. Honestly, I'm just sitting here chomping at the bit here to deliver my live stream on the Independent Investor channel, man. I really am. There's just a lot of exciting stuff going on. There's a lot of business to take care of, certainly tonight on the channel. It has to do with a few folks that are already in the community, JMac Investing and Gen X Dividend Investor. And also Brent from the Financial Investor popped in here, but certainly I've got something special planned for Jason Mack, who's in the group here, JMac Investing. Guys, if you haven't kicked over and helped him support his channel, honestly, he provided me a little bit of medicine this week in way of motivation, man. Probably was responsible for lighting a little spark for me, certainly. I watching him get his 100th video upload really kind of helped motivate me, honestly. And you know, typically when you go through swoons on this YouTube project, I'm very, very critical of the content that I put up there. And I know that there's some people who will come on and say, hey, thanks, man, you're an entertaining guy. Or there's a lot of other channels out there that offer entertaining content. Oh, it's ironic with me because I really feel like investing, and when you're talking about people's money, it's a very serious topic. It really is. It's business with me. It really is. And if you can deliver the information in kind of a nonchalant, kind of a casual way, which is what we look to deliver on the live stream on Friday, I'm all about that because I think people are more receptive to that. I really do. But I actually considered relinquishing my title as the grinder for Jason, certainly, because 100 videos in that short a time really was impressive. It opened my eyes. I like to see that type of that work ethic because I just you know, I don't want to label the new generation as having it easy, but I will say this: the road is already paved. Okay, you don't have to do a whole lot of road paving. All you really have to do is walk it. And there's a lot of young guys and gals now that want to get cracking, and they want to start driving the road to success, and they drive it aggressively. But I tell you what, there's a little bit of a sense of old school that I kind of picked up from Jason's application, at least since he started the channel. Putting his head down and just really grinding through. And I want to thank him specifically. I was taking a little bit of leave from the channel, and rightfully so. I was actually kind of too blocked at work, had some obligation there that actually was getting a little bit overwhelming for me a little bit. And you do go through these swoons a little bit. My motivation for the Independent Investor channel has never wavered. And there's a reason for that. I just think that there's so many people out there that need to have this conversation or this topic watered down to where it needs to be, okay? I mean, you talk about watching the TV and you see financial investor channels pop on there. They anger me. And that's some of the fuel that fuels my fire to do this and just talk directly to individuals looking to get exposure to the market, because unless you have $500,000 of assets, certain companies or organizations won't even want to talk to you. Okay. I tend to think that maybe a lot of our focus needs to be on those folks that are just starting their churn. And you can be 20 or you can be 50, 60, it doesn't matter. But I like to tailor my message to those folks right there because they're hungry, and that type of thing goes a long way with me. And I think that's a little bit of the essence of what I kind of picked up. And I do owe you a little bit of a thank you, because I tell you what, that's what it's all about, to be honest with you. Everybody that's making YouTube channels, we're all human beings, and we're all doing it for maybe different reasons, certainly. I think most of those motivations behind why we do this are genuine in nature. They really are. But I think when you get a couple years under your belt and you start to feel obligated to provide content, and as critical as I was, I needed that little bit of step aside from the channel. and I got it. And I've come back re-energized. Certainly, I've calibrated my schedule, dialed this bitch in. So you're going to see a little bit different application, a little bit more regimented in the schedule. I'm going to try to push the upload schedule on 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to attempt to do what some of the other folks are doing with the daily upload schedule. It's something that I said I wouldn't do for the sake of watering down the content. And that is, I've really come full circle on that. I really have. I think people need to hear what I got to say. That's what I feel. All right. And if it just so happens to where I'm pushing the message out there, and I'm pushing it out there and always driving the conversation forward, and there's little tidbits of every little bit of pickup that you can take away from maybe a little bit more frequent schedule, then I'm all about it. Okay. And I'm just the guy to do it. I picked up a video. I hadn't watched Ricky for a while, and I picked up a video this week, and I was really disappointed. I really was, so I tune into a guy like J-Mac, who's working hard, and financial investor. Brent is in here, who's also been grinding for a long time. A lot of really good channels. I had a really personal message from Ryan Scribner, who is also another YouTube creator. Haven't seen him kick in and support a live stream yet. I'd probably pass out and fall over if my boy Ryan came in here. But just another hard-working fella. But it's been an interesting week with the upload schedule, and really disappointed with the trading mentality that can embrace some of these young investors that are looking to get involved. It's very tempting. It really is. And the power of self-directed investing, the unfortunate aspect about self-directed investing is I'm giving any individual that's willing to take the amount of power that's there, it's there for the taking. Okay. And I do everything I can to aggressively set some level of parameter, keep your wits about you. Don't get overzealous. Don't get over your skis. Don't think that you can outsmart the market. Please, I'm begging you. By nature of the designation of your account, you're already giving yourself the ace up your sleeve. You're already putting yourself in the winner's circle. All you got to do is not fall out of it. All right? There's been a lot of folks that have popped in here tonight that I haven't recognized. So thank you to the new folks that have made their way onto the channel. I'm going to be gearing some of tonight's dialogue a little bit toward some of those folks that have made their way in here that I don't recognize. Obviously, there's a ton of legacy subscribers that have made their way into the message here. But I wanted to take a moment and just kind of call out J-Mac Investing there. And it's amazing how your influence affects people. It really is. And I'd like to say thank you to you, honestly, because you provided a little bit of that motivation. Probably didn't even think you were doing it, but it's amazing how your content can affect people in different ways. You know what I'm saying? And if you can affect the majority of people to the positive, then that's something I'll drink to for sure. All right. So welcome to the Independent Investor channel. Of a foreshadowing or a forecasting of that video. I've got 3 figures on the board here for dividends for the first part of September. Now this figure kind of ran away from me a little bit. I was paid some dividends after the 12th. So this is from September 1st to September 12th. I've already dropped this video on Wax. It'll come out tomorrow. That's my Saturday upload. But 3/16/44, you guys who are tuning into the live stream tonight are kind of getting that disclosed to you early enough. Now, the second figure is realized gains within the 2 portfolios. Okay, so just shy of 15,000. I'm on a pretty good clip every single year of manufacturing around $10,000 between the 2 accounts. These are trading positions that I may take for 1, 2, 3 days a week, whatever. I'm in charge. I'm the boss. Take those trading positions, and I'm able to manufacture some cash there. On the video tomorrow, I actually show the screenshots out of the portfolio of these figures. They are what they are, okay? These are just a little bit of manufactured, realized capital gains. Of course, all tax protected within the Roth IRA. So you guys can imagine I'm taking these trading positions because I have unlimited free trades, okay? Which is why I am insistent on providing the resource for First Trade and M1 Finance. Those links are at the top of this description tonight, and I believe those links may go away when it goes live and I upload this to YouTube. So if you guys are interested, kick over. You guys know those are the only two and will continue to be the only two affiliate links on my program, okay? They just fit like a round freaking peg. That's just the way it is, all right? One is applicable or most appropriate for a passive or an active investor through First Trade. And I really think you should consider M1 Finance if you're looking for more of an invest and hold for long-term type of a strategy. I don't want to see you try to trade in and out of an M1 Finance platform. I think you run the chance of being a little bit frustrated by that, all right? But I run these realized, this is for the year end. So I've still got through December to generate some more cash in that account. But that 15,000 bucks, man, that's real money. I don't make that squat up. This is not Monopoly here. Okay. I did not pass go to get that 15,000 bucks. That's real money. It's not money that comes off of YouTube. Okay, I'm very open with the money that is out of YouTube came in the form of the First Trade portfolio review that I rolled out this week. All right, that's YouTube earnings right there. That's it in a nutshell. I don't care if you know. There it is. All right. All that stays fairly separate. It all goes to a taxable brokerage account in First Trade. And I get the double benefit of enjoying a platform that I get to recommend and offer my thoughts on. And I have nothing but good to say about First Trade Financial. It's really a great discount broker. So if you guys are looking to do some research, I know there's been some folks that have alluded to kind of being at that impasse where they're looking. Thank you for that. The $5, that's freaking awesome. Hell yeah. I'm all, wow. It blows up green in my face, man. So it's like I'm up on stage and somebody's throwing money at me. Not just kidding. That was a poor attempt at a joke. A very poor attempt at a joke. I'll drink. All right. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. That reminds me, there's about an $1,800 technology investment in the channel. We're upgrading the full suite of products. The audio is going to be better over the live stream. That's number one. Number two is I'll probably go to more of an OBS type of a platform, one that's a little bit more indicative of what Lydia Santiago runs on her live stream. And she does a great job of jumping back and forth. And I think this gets a little bit long-winded for 2 hours getting on here and having me talk about investing. It can be a little bit dry sometimes, I feel. So we're upgrading the audio and we're also upgrading. I've got a new iMac on the way. It's about time to retire this old beast. She's been good for me, no doubt about it. We started the business. I do all my stock trading and monitoring, etc. Again, this isn't monopoly money. This is real money. So I can take a little bit, roll it back into the business. Why do I do that? Hell, guys, if I had the money, man, I'd be in a professional office. It'd be decked out because I really do believe that credibility does go a hell of a long way. And if I've got my set decorated like a Christmas tree behind me, I don't really think that comes across as very appealing to folks who are joining your channel for the first time and really looking to gain credibility. Now, if you're a fair judge of credibility, you can listen to what I have to say and pay less attention to the decor that I have on my set. But I'm just being a realist. That's really, I want the whole enchilada. Okay. And you guys will get it because part of this investment is in both me and you guys as well. So the final short figure over there of 524.16, that actually did jump up as well. So this isn't a little bit shy of a half a month. It's in September. The 524 is the short trading that I've done over the last 12 days. So that's a figure that would go into the realized gain for the year as I've actually manufactured up on the portfolio and keeping some of my dry powder, available to me to take those trading positions in. All right. I just saw that the tip that came in. I felt a calling towards switching careers to be a financial advisor or manager. Can you give advice or insights you may have? I enjoy your content. Man alive. I don't know if you're asking the wrong guy. I think finances is a fantastic field. I really do. I just think it really has a lot of different range of quality of advisors out there, and in an environment where we're really racing to zero on the fees that investors can enjoy by getting direct connected to the stock market. I think there's always going to be a need for financial advisors, and I would say that's very, very. I would be a phenomenal financial advisor. I just know enough about the back end behind the curtain to where I spend a lot of my time exploiting some of those behind the scenes things because I disagree. I disagree. I don't have a problem with compensation, but if anybody wants to come to me and say, Ryan, we've got this financial planning firm over here that's charging a flat fee of $49.95 per year, I would sign up for it. Okay, and they would stop charging a percentage of assets under management. That's how they make a ton of their money. Drop incentive-based mutual fund selling. Yeah, and I don't mean to be cutting deep, but you asked, so you're going to get my honest answer. I think it's a great field choice, but do it for the right reasons. Do it because you really enjoy helping people, and there's going to be people out there who always need that level of tutelage through this environment. Okay, so that's the pre-funk for tomorrow's release to the rest of the masses. The folks that don't come on and enjoy the live stream that I offer on the Independent Investor channel, but impressive enough, no doubt about it. I'm very stoked on these numbers, and it's indicative of a market where sometimes I just sit back and I'm like, damn, it's good to be an investor, baby. It really is. We're in that time now. I can't sit here and explain it to you. I've been through swoons in the market, and everybody seemingly forgot what that's about. I'll continue to remind everybody to continue to enjoy this euphoric stage in the stock market, because I will contend that it won't last forever. And if I'm going to be premature in my assessment of the stock market, so be it. I'm willing to do that. We are looking at an unprecedented bull market. It's been extremely impressive. Okay. But you guys have got a lot of questions in here, and I do really need to get to some of these. I've got Crazed Tool fan. Hey, Ryan, you mentioned a while back in a video of yours that you play guitar. What kind do you play? Well, my dad has the good one. He has a 68 SG Gibson. He has the good one, and it's one that we play every day too. I've got some real cheap stuff over here on the East Coast, but that is a machine. Okay, not only a collector's item, but I mean, he bought it when he was a kid, and it was the base model SG. But I've played Strats. I really like Stratocasters from the '60s. I've played that. I've played the SG. And I play new guitars now, and the sound is really good, but it's not quite what those vintage guitars can produce, and that's just what I prefer. Haven't really played for a while, to be honest with you, but an interesting question. Nonetheless, I've been super busy with career and other projects, this being one of them. I really enjoy. This is kind of my muse. It really is. I've been trying to play guitar for 20 years, and I'm still not that good at it, but it is fun. It's definitely a release, and I'll continue to do that the rest of my life. Certainly, guitar is one of those things that'll be with me forever. But I'm going to cruise up to the top of the live stream here. You guys can see some red notations here just over my shoulder. These are some of the things that I identified that are preconceptions about investing that a lot of new investors will have in their mind. And as I'm going through the live stream, and I can stay out of your way a little bit, please take a little bit of time to read the preconception in red, and then what I think is the actual reality or the path to success. If you can just eliminate the preconceived idea that you have to be an expert to succeed in the stock market, and supplement that with a strategic application. The reason I do that is it's more important to be strategic about your application than it is to be an expert and outthink the market, okay? And so on. So I've got analyst here. I think instead of being an analyst, I think it's more important to have awareness of the industry, all right? And I've provided a lot of that awareness to you guys throughout the course of the channel by understanding a lot of this stuff right here. What is a Roth? What are the accounts I can invest in? Do I need to invest in Vanguard? Can I own a Vanguard product in a non-Vanguard account? Awareness, right? Instead of going and seeking out representation, which so many people think is the only way to gain exposure to the market, to be represented. I have to go to a financial planner. Somebody has to recommend me to their financial planner or somebody that their family has done business with. I have to be recommended to go sit down and seek out representation. That's the wrong way to go about it, okay? Now, some people will opt for this and they will make it a success. They will, okay? I just think a more optimal way of doing it is the way that nobody knows about, and that's the self-directed option, okay? Now, the financial plan is another thing. This is a product that a lot of people seek out. They'll go in, they'll seek out this representation, they'll sit down with a financial planner, they'll provide them a beautiful colored portfolio, and they'll do up a comprehensive financial plan for you. It's all smoke and mirrors, all of it. It's all meant to get you in the door and get as much assets under management that they can, okay? What I would encourage you to do for this financial plan, this is really where the independent investor channel comes in to play, because it puts the question back on you rhetorically to say, what is the plan that's going to make sense for me? All right? Because I can guarantee this smoke and mirrors that they're going to do up for you is going to gain exposure to the stock market using any one of three products. Okay, those products are going to be a mutual fund, single stock, or ETF. Now, the latter two, they're probably not going to sell you because those are very low expense, passive investments. Okay, so you're probably going to leave that office with a suite of mutual funds because they've sold you on the idea of diversification and probably showed you a year-over-year performance of 10% in the mutual fund, okay? And that somehow the 1 or 1.5% that you're paying in expense for the mutual fund is worth it, okay? They're probably not even going to talk about ETF and single stock investing, which single stock is the single greatest path to wealth in the stock market, in my opinion. You just have to be prepared to take on the level of risk necessary to enter into single stock, okay? Now, a lot of people have barriers, okay? I can't do it. Ryan, what do you think about this stock? What do you think about that stock? These are all barriers to entry, and your focus should really be on your plan. My advice to you is this: identify the barriers and define whether or not it is an actual mental barrier or a physical barrier, okay? If it's a physical barrier, it's something that you can probably fix. If it's a mental barrier, it's something that you can probably fix, okay? But the idea behind the two, like for example, a barrier here of a physical nature would be, I don't have internet service. How am I going to monitor my accounts, right? That's a real barrier for people who are out remote in the country who don't have internet access. That would restrict me a little bit, okay? My mom and dad are in this very, very thing, and we just keep harping on them like, come on, man, you got to connect to the real world. But that's a real physical barrier that a lot of people incur, especially folks in rural America, right? Folks out in the country that may not have that connectivity, which is going to restrict you on your level of access, okay? That's a physical barrier. Mental barrier is, I don't know enough, okay? That's not a good enough excuse for me. It's not. If you come to me and say, I don't have the tools necessary to become a successful investor in the stock market, I'm going to tell you that you absolutely do. You just have to find them. You have to find them. Maybe you're not willing to find them. You have to be willing to look. You have to be willing to identify, and you have to be honest with yourself about what shortcomings you have, okay? And you have to be willing to evolve. Good grief. I can't tell you how many people have come to the channel and be like, Ryan, I met not only my $10,000 mark, but I'm up to 25,000 bucks. Do you want to know how much that means to me? Are you kidding me? You came to my message, and I'm not saying it's me, but those are real results. If I had nothing to do with it and they came back and said, Ryan, I watched your channel, and at the beginning I didn't think I could do it, and look at me now, I can freaking do it. I got 25 grand. I made that second threshold that you talk about, that money tier that you talk about, because nobody else talked like you did. Nobody said, hey, you're going to be a millionaire by doing this. Said you come onto YouTube and said you need to get to your first $1,000, baby. That's real talk. Real people can gravitate with that information. Once they get to that first $1,000, they're like, you know what? I just proved to myself that I could do it. I had a mental barrier that said I couldn't do it, and I broke through that barrier and proved to myself that I did, right? And I've got a lot of folks, man, coming on the channel, and they're like, I made it. I'm up to 25,000 bucks. Do you realize the category of people, the upper echelon of people that you're putting yourself in by declaring yourself in that category? It's amazing. So many people are living paycheck to paycheck. So many people would be crippled by a $400 expense that would incur unexpectedly throughout the month. It would financially cripple them. Most people don't have $1,000 in their savings account. Okay, that's real talk. So for the folks that are coming in and they're walking a road and they're proving to themselves that they can do it, it's a very example of what I'm talking about, how most people that I talk to who come to the channel and say, Ryan, I'm interested in hearing you out, and they spend a half hour talking, and I don't get to say anything. It sounds like you have it all figured out already. Why did you ask me? Be willing to learn and open yourself up a little bit, okay? You might just hear something that might change your life. It did for me, all right? Confused. Most people use this excuse with me all the time. Confused can be transformed over here to informed. You can seek out your information any way you want to. If you're offended by me and you don't want to listen to me, you can search out your information in a number of different ways. You can get the majority of your information off your brokerage account. You can get the majority of your information watching tutorials. I like Seeking Alpha. I like the Trading Academy. I like a few YouTube channels. I think a lot of our jobs in the trenches, you know, myself and Jason and Brent and Dave and the guys that come in here, and a lot of these solid investors. I think I saw Ernest pop in here, and Jared and Greg. These folks are solid investors. Lydia, these folks are deploying unique strategies that are unique to them, right? The commonality is it works for each and every one of us. So how can something be so drastically different across individuals, but we're all enjoying the same common theme as success? How is that possible? That's the beauty of it, all right? The last one here is a lot of people remain conveniently naive, and I talk about this all the time. The flip side of being conveniently naive is to be aware as well, okay? You have to want to educate yourself up. I use the head in the sand analogy all the time. And this is really where this speaks to, okay? You have to understand the impact over your money of those fees that I talk about. You have to be aware, okay? Because it can be a very costly mistake to find out in your 50s, 60s, this information, or never at all, okay? And I know there's the majority of people, if not the vast majority of people, will never be introduced to the prospects of this information. And at the very least, I would contend that you at least have to entertain the prospects of investing on your own, acknowledging some of these smoke screens that exist in this section here, all right? Why is it that they can put on commercials constantly on television? Who's paying for that? You are, right? You're paying for that. Okay. That's how we can have financial planning offices in every strip mall in the United States and seemingly no customers inside of them. All right. Y'all are paying for that stuff, and a whole heck of a lot. And if you really want your eyes opened, I highly recommend that you pull the disclosure form off of the internet and read the very first sentence in what it says. Investors should consider the risks and expenses that exist in the investment before investing. That I read that to mean if you read this first sentence and you continue to read, you will probably put the document down, never to invest with that firm that's subject to those terms. That's what'll happen. All right, guys. So good stuff. I'm going to cruise up to the top here and see if I can't power through some of these questions. I know there's been a bunch that I earmarked before the live stream, but I'm going to try to get to some of these and really start to strike up a dialogue with you guys. There's the most people that I've ever had in this live stream on tonight. So I do apologize for my 31-minute rant, but I was on kind of a soapbox there. So I do apologize for that. But let me try to get over here. The first question that I thought was really interesting, Victor Hernandez, he talked about the tax loss harvesting, and mathematically, it's one of those things that absolutely can add value to the portfolio. It typically happens within a managed account where that's a feature. Okay. Now, I'm not going to speak about military TSP, because military TSP folks that are involved in the life cycle fund, they get that tax loss harvesting free of charge. Okay. It's part of the low expense within that BlackRock charges to oversee those, and tax loss harvesting and rebalancing is part of that benefit in your government sponsored pension. So for any of you government employees out there, that's a benefit that you're getting. Now, when I rolled out Betterment, which is the robo-advisor system, that is also a function in that account. Now, the statistics show that by doing that tax loss harvesting, and what that is in essence is selling losing positions, okay, and taking the capital loss. Now, this is really only beneficial when you're talking about large chunks of capital, okay? For example, if you were to take your account and your account only and tax loss harvest that, it probably wouldn't be as beneficial as a money manager taking a lump of capital and taking a large write-off and then able to deploy that in the same sector. You can't rebuy the same asset after you tax loss harvest, but you can invest it in the same sector, just a different asset, and perhaps maybe pick up a little bit more opportunistic opportunity. So you're taking the benefit of the loss and you're writing some of that off, basically, within the confines of what the law allows. I'm not a tax accountant, but that in essence is what that is. And managed accounts will offer that. The consideration to make, honestly, is I'm giving you guys enough white meat to play with by reducing the fee within the account that you guys are all enjoying. Some of you guys are reduced all the way. But by reducing that fee so much, I don't think we need to be worried so much about the tax loss harvesting within that. I've never done it specifically. And I think I would probably feel more comfortable if I did seek out the advice of a tax accountant in conjunction with my financial planner, if that was something that I was going to do. I have a pretty sizable portfolio, but it's not in the seven figures up to a point where I need to have a tax accountant monitor it and let me know, hey, this is going to be beneficial, or no, it's not going to be beneficial. But that's a good question. Anytime I get tax questions, I always throw it to Ernest, and he always posts an article to the Facebook group on my behalf, and I appreciate the heck out of that, because I usually go on the Facebook group and he always finds some sort of article that helps amplify that, answer that question for folks. It's a really good one. But It's not something that I specifically do, right, wrong, or indifferent. If I'm losing out, so be it. I don't have the life cycle fund within my TSP. I just own the S&P 500 outright, and I will continue to own it throughout my 50s and 60s and maybe even legacy to my children. I don't want that to adjust over time. I want to stay exposed to the stock market over time, because I don't want that to be adjusting at a non-opportune time. I would rather just hold constant in the S&P 500 and dollar cost average that up. Okay, that's just what I do. Okay. I've got Bob right in the group. I've got all good. These guys pop in every Friday, man. I owe you guys a big thank you, and certainly I passed on your guys' comments were very, very kind. You know, it's nerve-wracking to come onto YouTube and just throw down. And the difference between me doing YouTube when I first started is I was talking to 3 subscribers. My wife came on and was talking to as many as 15,000. Now I would contend that I have about 1,000 to 1,500 very loyal subscribers. The rest of them maybe kick in every now and then, but are probably dormant on the channel. To be honest with you, I just don't care. I mean, a subscriber count is what it is. I care so much more about the relationships that I get from the loyal subscribers that really want to be part of this movement. And the reason why they feel like they are part of a movement is because they are. So, Bob, and all good. Thanks, guys, for popping in. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to cruise down. I know. Cal has offered some New Zealand insight as well. So he offers a pretty good thread here as well in the top of the thread. So I appreciate that. Probably one of the nicest places that I've never been to. All I've seen is photos. So that's pretty cool stuff. All right. By the way, if anyone wants to invest in NZ stock, I can tell you what's been working for me. So I appreciate that. That's really cool. It's part of the perspectives that I really like to see generated in this type of forum. That's why we do this. We come on to throw some ideas out there and offer everybody's thoughts on what they're working with. All right. All right. For me, infrastructure. So that's a really good thread there. What are the foreign tax implications? I'm just scrolling through here and trying to cherry pick some of these that I said that I was going to readdress. I sold some selling going on. I know Christopher Blaine has picked up 3M, probably a good entry point, and Simon Property Group, as well as American Tower REIT, no doubt about it, looking good with these drops. The bottom kind of dropped out of them. I sold American Tower right at the top. I mean, I really did good for myself on that one. Altria, guys, I would be careful. I really would. I'm going to be coming out with a video talking about things that you can do to improve your life that have nothing to do with investing. And vaping is one of those things that some scary stuff. I'm not your dad. I'm just your colleague and friend through YouTube or whatever you want to consider me. So you don't come on here to get a lecture, but it's some scary stuff, man. Honestly, I've never really understood it. I know perhaps maybe folks are trying to wean themselves off of maybe cigarettes or something like that. But I won't touch Altria. I won't touch Philip Morris either. There's probably other reasons to touch those stocks. And it's on the other industry that they're dabbling in. I won't get into details on that. You guys can read between the lines. And anytime a dividend creeps up that high, it makes me suspicious. And talks about Philip Morris and Altria coming together again makes me a little bit nervous. Probably a lot more in that sector that I would rather be exposed to. And I'm not touching those right now. I'm just not. I think you'll be fine. I've recommended the stock. I think you can make money with it. I really do. I think the valuation is fine. I think Philip Morris can be fine as well. But 3M is a hold forever. Simon Property Group can really give you that real estate exposure that you're looking for. I would just monitor Altria because you're getting a good entry point here. But everything is subject to headline news, and I'm not really that satisfied with what I'm seeing with what some of the proposals for Altria is. They've got a very wide moat. They're very, very popular. Mo being the domestic play and Philip Morris being the overseas play. And it'd be interesting to see if they come together. But who's to say? But I like the pickups. I do. Value plays across the board, certainly. Good dividend payers. I think you did really well for yourself there, certainly. 3M is the only one I own out of that little group there that you got. All right. Good stuff. That was the football game. I really love Jason. I really do. Jason to JMac Investing, good dude. I was surprised, man, because I caught a little clip of him holding up it was a mug that looked exactly like this, and I was like, that is my mug. What the hell is he doing, man? He just paid freaking $14 for a mug. He must really like me. At least if nothing else, man. I can flow some traffic his way and maybe help him accelerate the channel. But I do thank you for that. I had somebody ask me. I took the Made in China sticker off of the bottom, but I appreciate that. So that's pretty cool. What the hell? That's pretty cool. I think the product is really good. It's a cool coffee mug, but Jesus H, man, $15 freaking dollars. I'm trying to get that discount code on there for the merchandise, but whatever. All in good time. We'll get it there. But it might be worth money, man, because we own the only 2 in the entire world. So I don't know. Maybe it's a collector's item. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, Jason, how does it get the phone? But anyway, what I was going to say there to Jason before I got rudely interrupted by myself is, I love the guy, but I wish he would consider trying to pick another team, another football team. Honestly, man. And I do give you credit for being a loyal fan. No doubt. You can definitely yell until you lose your voice. But man alive, there's a lot there to be frustrated about. And I can't talk because the Steelers looked like a college football team the other night. They really did. It was lovely. Yeah. So anyway, I'll drink to that. So. All right. I got the Gen X investor there. Got a solicitation to collaborate. I'd like to collaborate with either Jason or Gen X investor. I'd like to collaborate with any of my featured channels, to be honest with you. If you guys reach out to me and kind of coax me through, I think it'd be kind of cool in an interview style, just to have a dialogue that we can throw up online, something like that. I think it'd be kind of cool. I really do. So that's an open invite for both those guys. I did not add Gen X Dividend Investor just yet to the featured channels. I want to review that stuff. Gave me a very kind comment and kind of gave me a little personal note about where he's coming from as far as being married over 20 years. So that gives me a little insight there. But I added Jason to the featured channels this week. I don't know if he knows that or not, but he's been added on there. You bet. All right. So good stuff. These guys went through a tagging discussion. They were really jealous that I got the highlight over my independent investor channel name there. And Gen X was really confused about how that works. So I'm right with you, man. I'm confused too. Don't worry about it. It's all good. But right below that, we've got Our Lives, which ironically, I think I responded to you today. I go through my comments. I have to let them build up because I can't get to all of them. I'm not sitting at my screen. It takes a lot of time to run through those comments. I enjoy doing it, but it is time consuming. Okay. But hi, I watched your old video and wanted to know which one is better, M1 or Vanguard for the Roth IRA. Okay. So they both offer a Roth IRA. I'm not a big fan of Vanguard accounts at all. Okay. And I'll just say that bluntly for anybody, the 76 people that are in here right now, hearing me talk about Vanguard, I think as wonderful as their products and funds and index funds are, I think their accounts suck. Okay. They suck. Now, phenomenal company, very well reputationed. Okay. But there's only so much disincentive I will accept for access to the stock market. Okay. Now, if somebody can tell me that my level of access through First Trade is different than the level of access through Vanguard, whereas my access with First Trade gives me unlimited free trades, but Vanguard, I've got to have $500,000 to be part of their Voyeur program, which I don't need to have any type of label to let me know that I'm a premium client. Now, I don't have $500,000, but I enjoy free trades in every freaking one of my brokers. I don't pay for trades, man. If you're paying for trades, you need to look in the mirror and identify whether or not you were on the backside of the wave or on the front of the wave, okay? Because paying for entry and exit fees in stock is a thing of the past, okay? Now, it doesn't have to be that way. And if you're going and opting into Vanguard, I think they write that disincentive in there for a good reason. I don't think they want traders to be part of their platform. I think they want to appeal to the passive investor because their products are built as such. But here's the thing. You can own a Vanguard product in a first trade account. You can own a Vanguard product. You guys have seen my M1 Finance portfolio. It's got 11 sector specialty ETFs in there. They're all Vanguard, right? For no additional fee, okay? My accounts, my Roth IRA accounts with Merrill are chucker blocked full of bond accounts, bond ETFs, total market ETFs, VII, VTI, VOO, VYM, VBK, VBR, some specialty ETFs, VPQ, right? All right. So I think comparing M1 Finance to Vanguard is a little bit tough, okay? Vanguard is a premium broker, okay? Very, very well reputation. But as far as holding an account through them, I don't put them in the top 5. I'd be hard pressed to put them in the top 10 with what some of these other brokers are doing. TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, JP Morgan Chase Bank, no doubt about it, are really competitive. Some of the discount brokers that I offer those for a reason, man. I very rarely have any type of negative. I've been the most critical of M1 Finance, and for good reason. My analysis of M1 Finance is right on the money, right on. The fact they buy once a day is stupid, okay? That's real. The fact that I'm utilizing M1 Finance from a perspective and from an investor that is taking a completely passive approach, and I fund that account with $25 a month, it's working for me, okay? It works. I'll show it to you. I mean, it's not one of those accounts that you want to be buying and selling in, okay? If you want to invest and take advantage of the partial share option within M1 Finance, by all means and do that. But this, see the Vanguard, it's not very clear. I'll try to turn it so you can actually see. But that's the visibility. That's how quick I can jump into the M1 Finance platform. Try to work some magic here. But that gives you kind of an idea of the aesthetics. Those are 11 funds that I just scrolled my finger through. All right. I'll be doing this portfolio review first of the week. I'm going to pick a new portfolio every single week. This is on the schedule for probably Monday or Tuesday. Okay. But it's a pie approach. Okay. So when you're looking to pick your account or your brokerage, a lot of different aesthetics are offered. TD Ameritrade offers a good incentive platform. Merrill is very good. Those are my top 5. Charles Schwab. Those are some of the high quality premium brokers that you can look to. But if you're going to go with a high quality premium broker, you're probably going to incur some of those entry and exit fees, that of which you'll save with M1 Finance and you'll save it with First Trade, okay? And you'll get the desktop version to boot in both of those. So if you want to do your research, that was the mobile application that I showed you there with M1 Finance. Their desktop version is a lot better than that. It's easy to navigate. There's research, analytics, etc. It's very simple, okay? It's not a major broker. Okay? It's not a Merrill. Merrill's freaking awesome, okay? But it is what it is, and it offers the product. You're going to get what you pay for. You don't pay anything, okay? So tailor your expectations a little bit in what you expect, okay? Do they offer different options, and which ETF is the best for a Roth IRA? I'm 40, so you're still very, very young. I can't offer specific stock picks, and that's why if you read between the lines, that's why I answer questions like that in the manner that I do. because I want you guys to understand that I'm answering the question in a roundabout way by showing you how it is I invest. Okay, bringing awareness to an ETF like VTI should really provide you with where is that ETF and where can I find more information on it for myself. Okay, go to the Vanguard's website. Go to the list of ETFs. You'll be able to browse the 58 or 59 that are on there. I call it the shopping mall for ETFs. They're broken down in categories. You're going to see their flagship ETFs right there, and you're going to get to click into those and check it out for yourself, okay? But I'm not at liberty to provide financial advice as I'm not a certified financial planner. I don't have that worthless piece of paper that says I can rip people off, okay? All right. Good. All right, we're going to continue to scroll down here, offering value to folks. I definitely probably should have worn my suit and tie for sure, so I could be more strategic here. I think my trackpad just went dead on me here, so I can't scroll down just yet. I'm waiting for it to come back. Anyway, oh, there we go. Now we're connected. Now we're cruising. Awesome. All right. What's the bread? I just got home from Costco. Run, good stuff. I know there was some really good questions down into the meat and potatoes here. Got Night Wolf here. Says hello everyone. I can't name everybody here that pop in. There's a lot of people in here. Okay. I got the one and only Doug Whitaker. You need to start emailing me some stock picks there, Mr. Doug. I believe I've provided you enough value investing information, that of which you don't use any of it because you're too busy making the big bucks. You need to email me some stock picks. I'll take a look at it. Hell, I maybe even put a little token position, call it Doug's Corner. All right. And we'll track Doug's returns, and I'll report to everybody the 300% that I'm making every week off of Doug's stock picks. Awesome to see you, my brother. Good to see you, man, in all sincerity. I'm just kidding about the stock picks. No, I'm not. I'm serious. Good stuff. So I've got Art Brigida in here. I love Vanguard. CNQ, I'd have to check that one. I think it's VNQ if you probably mistyped that. I also own VNQ to get my real estate exposure. I don't like picking up those single stocks in the real estate sector. So I just buy VNQ, and I've got a pretty big position, I believe, in VNQ to get me that one of the 11 sectors, the real estate exposure. And I like the VNQ a lot. I really do. All right. Hey, all, I'm with Doug in the car, so I may be inactive. But I'll be listening in the background. Professor Pipe Dreams, awesome, man. It's good to see you pop in here. And I don't know if I catch Noella, and if she's actually in here listening. I don't know if she pops in and just says hello real quick. She's the business savvy, so she's probably super business, probably super busy. But I appreciate her spending a couple minutes. If not, if she's still with, that's awesome, man. Greetings. She's up in Canada. That's really cool. So good to have you on here, bringing people together. That's what it's all about. I love it. All right. I've got Mr. Tim Tellers in the group. That's great. Great to see you again. It's awesome, man. This is like a weekly meeting of my of so many familiar folks, man, that have been with me a long time. And again, it's just to reemphasize all the success stories that we've got coming back. It's not rocket science. I've said this many, many times. People are going to succeed at this. Okay. If I didn't think anybody could succeed at this, I wouldn't do this. I would shut this down. I would shut it down. I'm stuck at an impasse in my mind with the number of people who just discredit this information and opt for a program more indicative of the left-hand column over here, instead of daring to believe a little bit and challenge this status quo a little bit. Okay, this is the status quo because the vast majority of people live their lives over here and they forget it. Okay, perhaps maybe finances isn't quite on their radar as much as I insist it to be for me. Okay. I don't insist that to you. It's addicting to me. I don't think there's anything better to be addicted to than having some, uh, some real acumen to your financial health. I mean, I'm addicted to working out too. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. I think we're all going to live life, man, and I say embrace it as soon as you can, okay? Because it's going to pass one way or the other, and I really think that you should be getting on board with your awareness of some of this stuff right now, okay? Aussie investor, very cool to see you guys. I've got Australia and New Zealand on the group in the group here. Very cool. I'm humbled, man. I really am. Again, I commented and said, I can only offer my jaded U.S. perspective, and it is. I only kind of know how things are here, and it's really cool to hear different perspectives as well from around the globe, and how this stuff is getting deployed, and how real families, real individuals are empowering themselves, building with little bits of wealth. I would say that $1,000 saved in an account, or 1,000 euros saved in an account that wouldn't have otherwise been saved had they not come on and got a little piece of motivation from the channel. That's what we want. That's what we want. Those little dabs of success, those little dabs of empowerment, those freaking add up. And if they add up collectively for a large enough community, that's where we start to make a difference. Okay. We start to make a little bit of a ripple in the system. All right. And we start to acknowledge the benefits. And there's going to be some folks that come out of the woodworks like me who end up somewhere that I wasn't destined to be. I wasn't destined to have 7 figures in retirement. No way. No way. I was destined to work my job 30 years, retire with a respectable pension, live my life paycheck to paycheck, and then I'm gone. Okay? Break out of the mold. Break out of the mold. Question, challenge this status quo. It could be one of those life-changing opportunities that I allude to, man. It really can be. I'm flirting with 500,000, man. I'm halfway home, baby. And the way I define success for people is this. It's the degree of separation between what you were destined to do in life and what you actually were able to accomplish. It's the degree of that separation that'll define your success when you reflect back on your life. That's some deep talk, baby. Sorry, but it's the truth. All right. That's the way it is. Okay. All right, man. Good stuff. Altria has an 8% dividend. I've got Thomas here. And that's what I was talking about. Would make me a little bit nervous. I don't own the stock right here. I've recommended it on the channel. It checks out. It's a very good large cap company. Domestic exposure to an industry that I'm not really that stoked about, to be honest with you. I'd rather buy into this. If I was going to own a stock, I'd buy STZ. I've owned DEO as well, Diageo. So those are some companies that I would be more inclined to buy. If you wanted to just really go crazy, you could buy Anheuser-Busch. You could buy Coors or some of the big bottlers, you could do something like that as well, but to each his own. That's more my speed right there, baby. All right. For you guys want to research, and I really like bourbon, I'll spend 12 seconds offering Rohan's Creek is probably the best bourbon in the world. For $30 a bottle, you can't beat it. So enjoy that little tidbit. All right. Good stuff. All right. I think this China stuff situation is going to heat back up and should get us some big buying opportunities. Yeah, the verdict is still out on that. I don't know. It's going on. I don't know if the strategic play here is to wait till the election. I don't know. I typically try to keep my decision making to a minimum. With regard to geopolitical risk. What I mean by that is, am I going to pull all my money out of the stock market because we're in a China war right now? Well, that would have been a big mistake, right? So I typically try not to play those games. I do I do agree with you though in your assessment. But I just don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of interesting to sit across. I see. I'm a proponent of it. So I think what we're doing is absolutely correct. If we wanted to be owned by China in 20 years, we could have done that too. So take your pick. All right, that's just the reality. Okay, be a little bit more aware of the situation, and it's not all bad. Okay, all right. Okay, so my channel angers Ryan. No, it doesn't, man. I love you. Talking about. That was cool. You put your picture. I think that was your kid on Instagram. That was cool to see. Anyway, I like those personal touches. Jared Odell in the group here, a good friend of the channel, obviously, always makes his way in, supporting the message that we're putting through. Thank you to you. Slowly growing the community. I had to pull that post off of the Facebook group. I draw the line at trying to solicit for business. I'm a little bit more open to posting content. J Mac actually talked about this a little bit on his channel. I have a little different opinion about it than he does. I like his open perspective. However, if I could do the Facebook group the way I absolutely wanted to, none of that stuff would be on there, including my videos. If you want to watch my videos, you can come onto YouTube and check it out. I don't need to get exposure through Facebook. The whole idea behind the Facebook group was to have folks go on there, real people, and ask questions and to offer collective thoughts on solutions for real people. Okay. And I've got reports that are flowing in there, reports from people who I know probably aren't coming into the live stream, who aren't supporting the message other than maybe wanting to just support their own agenda. Okay. Now, some of that might be sincere. Others may not be so sincere. I'm letting it go on right now. But I'm monitoring it very closely, and I haven't made a decision on what I'm going to do with that. But I did take that down. I don't want to use my Facebook group to be selling stock market courses for somebody else. That's idiotic. If they want to do that, they can start their own damn group and sell it to all the people. If they're that good, they can sell it to anybody they want to. I don't sell a course because I don't believe in it. So you're sure as hell not going to do it in my Facebook group. No way. Ain't going to happen. All right. I don't think there was any ill intent there, but I think the individual who posted the post got the picture. Okay. Added more Cisco. I think that's a smart move, and I love Waste Management. I own both of those companies. I've got Andrew Ryan in the group who's offering a couple stock picks for this week. I do actually chronicle 12 stock picks tomorrow on this highlight video. It's a good one. You're going to want to tune into that. I just gave you the kind of the intro to it. But I throw out there some of the just on fire stocks, man. AT&T finally in the black. Prudential, I'm up 12.5%. I mentioned it on 2 live streams ago, and it's just been killing it. You can't ask for better performance from an insurer like that. A 4.5% dividend payer, 8 times forward earnings is where I picked it up. It's up 12%. I can't complain with that type of performance. I really can't. Very cool video with your wife, Ryan. I appreciate that. It was kind of an idea on a whim, no doubt about it. It's interesting too, because you guys get to see you get to see me on my best behavior. I mean, if I could box her up and eat her, I would. I just love her to death. And I'm on my best behavior. This, I get to be a little bit more open, a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more edgy. I'm not that way, because that collectively is really how we are. We really are. Common ground is absolutely appropriate for what I was trying to convey there. And I think there may be some couples actually that would come on and just view me and not know that that exists, and maybe potentially get turned off by my edginess or what can be misconstrued as arrogance. Okay. Yana's my counterbalance. Certainly. She brings some perspective to the table that is very, very deep. She catches stuff that I don't catch, where I'm always trying to, remain on the edge there. And by doing that, I kind of get a little bit jaded, but it's a great counterbalance. And hopefully you guys were able to able to see that. That was my intent by doing that, is to kind of show how our discussion works together. There's no way I could live my day to day and not be on common ground. And hopefully that was a good takeaway for some of you guys, for sure. For you guys that are single, great. I used to be there too. It just so happens that I'm not. Maybe there's a benefit there for all people. Hopefully that's how it is. But for those of us that we got through to, that was the whole purpose of that. That's awesome. All right. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate. Michael's been with me for a long time. He might be a plank owner to the Independent Investor channel, which I should probably have some plank owner hats made up for some of these folks that have been with me for a long time. No doubt. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate all the long standing support of the channel. I've got art right below you. You rock, Ryan. Well, okay. All right. Yeah, I guess I do. Thank you. I agree. I appreciate that. I'm not sure what I rock at. Hopefully we're striking up a little bit of motivation for folks tonight. This is usually where we get in the trenches on the live stream. This is where the real devoted subscribers still continue to hang out with me as I scroll down here through the live stream, having some fun on a Friday night. I was looking forward to this one. The remotivation on the channel is real. It really is. Kind of felt like I needed to pull my head out of my backside, which, you know, I'm not immune to those swoons. I'm not. I've worked really hard on YouTube for a little dab of compensation, but again, it's somewhat frustrating, I think, to watch other channels, and that's what I started to get a little bit caught up in. I've taken all that out. All of it's gone. It's gone. I will focus on me, and I will focus on you. That's it. That's my pledge. And that's really the only way that keeps me going. And Jason, again, said a few things really that kind of struck me. You know, be yourself. You know, you don't have to be anything just overly over the top. I don't respond to that. I don't have the mental energy to come on and duplicate that type of thing. I really don't. And it's interesting too, at 42 years old, I think social media for a lot of people, man, is consuming. Graham Stephan and Ryan Scribner both in the same. Now, I don't know if they're trying to strike at a nerve or what the deal is, but they're both talking about, well, not Ryan so much, but Graham came out with a video this week that talked about social anxiety. Wow, he should call me. You know, it's too bad. You got the world by the coattails, man. You know, you've done what so many people strive to do for the majority of your life, and you come out with a video basically saying that you have social anxiety. I think that's a product of too much YouTube. Put the damn cell phone down. Put it down. Okay? Step away from YouTube. Step away. You're a winner. Leave it alone. Go to the beach. Okay, you're in California, man. I've been there. You can't tell me it's not nice. Go buy a surfboard. You have money, right? Go to Zoomies, right? Right, Lydia? Come on. Nothing like a little wave surfing to help with your social anxiety, man. Go get in touch with nature, and then come lay on the beach and enjoy the scenery down there in Southern California. That's where I picked up my wife. Good move. Jeez, it's not rocket science. Okay, figure it out. Looks like this is a place to be at this hour of the night. Money matters. Yeah, I don't know. I got a little genre here, I guess, on YouTube. I'm getting pretty good response when I post these. I get about 1,000 views. That's fine. When I started doing live stream, it was just because it felt good. It felt good. I didn't do this to be overwhelmed with community members. There's a lot of good folks that come in every freaking Friday, and I just love you to death. I notice that stuff, and someday if I can pay it back, I will. I'd like to meet every single one of you guys. I really would. I'd like to provide opportunity to meet up and bake, because why? That's what life is about, man. Life is about those connections, you know? Every single thumbnail in this group right here brings something individual to the table. All right. Brent is one of them. You know, he's doing real estate investing, and I'd really like to talk to him in person about what it is that he does. He's manufacturing success. He's being an entrepreneur. He's hustling, you know, and for those guys that dare to dream a little bit, I'm on your team, and I'll be your #1 advocate because I know what it feels like, man. I really do. All right. Real talk, man. I like it. All right. I got Travis Haywood in the group here. Travis has been with me a long time too, man. Really good to see you, man. I think I owe you an answer to an email. I do apologize, man. That stuff, geez Louise, give me a break. There's only one of me. I'm the president, CEO, XPO, secretary, janitor, and writer and bookkeeper and accountant of the Independent Investor Channel. So please, editor, content creator, storyteller. I do it all. All right, daily uploads is too much, Ryan. Enjoy your family time. Yeah, so what I've done is I've kind of regimented my time a little bit and split up the content creation and the editing portion. I've also streamlined my thumbnail process as well. That's going to be streamlined even more. I don't spend a lot of time with adding a lot of bells and whistles to the editing, which can add a lot of time to it. So I've taken some steps to try to streamline the process a little bit to make sure. I'm testing a few things with the algorithms on Google. It's really the only thing that I haven't tested yet because what I've been doing so far has generated a very, very loyal audience, very loyal, no doubt. And I think there's still some fat within my 16,000 subscribers. I do. I don't think those big channels get as many real, solid, genuine views as what's displayed on their view count. I don't. And I may be saying that because I'm a little sour because, you know, I go through my view counts and I'm proud to get 1,000 views on my videos. I'm proud. That means the world to me. If there was actually 1,000 people that watched my content, I couldn't talk to 1,000 people in a month. I just did it in 20 minutes. I'm all about it. Sign me up. The power of social media, it's a good thing. All right. If we've generated some thought for you, then we've done our job. Okay. If we've put you at ease in knowing that you can come on to the Independent Investor Channel and not be sold on something, not be looked at as a cow, to be filtered into some program. I've never bought into any of that. I would be pissed if somebody looked at me as just a number. No way. I really, really try to engage and get to kind of know where each and every one of you guys are coming from. And that way it makes me more successful when I turn back rhetorical questions for you to ask of yourself. I've already done a few tonight for some of these folks. Okay. This is what I'm talking about here. The financial plan. I won't feel comfortable answering that question that's come my way until I know some more specifics about you. Sound familiar, Jerry? If you're still watching, there's a reason why I do that. I don't do that to be rude. I don't. But if you didn't declare to me your health and fitness for entering the market, how am I supposed to know how to answer that question? I'm not a magic maker. I can't give you a magic stock out there because they don't exist. There's good value buys right now, depending on what exposure protocol you're willing to take on. There's all that, okay? You got to look for those. But I have to understand a little bit more about the context surrounding my answer. It has to fit in your portfolio. It has to fit. It has to be in line with your goals, okay? So very, very important stuff to kind of answer for yourself. Very important, all right? So Michael's against the daily upload. I appreciate that input. Good looking out, man, for sure. Good looking out. If I don't need to do an upload, I won't, man. Trust me. I'll monitor it and do what I got to do. But I got to keep up with Jason somehow, man. The guy's a machine. Holy smokes, man. Financial investor, 469 videos, I think. Oh my God, man. That's crazy. Good stuff. Would love to see an individual dividend stock M1 pie from you. That's a good idea, actually. That's a really good idea. I may do that. The bulk of my dividend pie is actually in my Merrill account. You know that it's split between the two. Some pretty significant holdings. So to take a dividend portfolio and just put it into M1, which is a taxable account, I'd have to think about that and make sure that I wasn't doing it and just doing it to do it. I don't see a whole lot of strategic benefit from that unless I just manufactured the pie and shared it with you guys. But it's going to be a makeup of the same frequent flyers that we talk about anyway. That's a good idea, though. Noted. Thank you, Canine. I appreciate that offering. That's good stuff. Haha, nice. I remember your video with Scribner. I've done two. I did one he offered right in the beginning when I wasn't very good. I still don't think I'm that good. But the collaboration I did on the dividend stocks, that was cool, man. I really like I really like Ryan a lot. I really do. I reached out to him this week after he put on that video that he put on. If you're interested, I'm not going to go into details about it. I thought it was pretty brave, to be honest. It's not like me bringing my wife on and displaying, our happy situation. It was the opposite of that. So I'm not going to get into details again, but I did reach out to him, because that's number one. That's just the type of fella that I am. And I just said, hey, are you okay? You bet. That's the type of person I think. Well, I mean, I know I'm that way, but it just kind of goes to show, man, that there are different aspects to life than just finances. When I talk about finances being a shallow topic, it is. It is. It has rewards. It has security. It's nice to see the portfolio up. It is what it is when the portfolio's down. It's nice to be building financial stewardship and a legacy for your kids and all that stuff. Okay. It's nice to be pursuing a goal. It gives you a reason to be financially and fiscally responsible, etc. But I've said this many times, and for you guys that have heard me say this, and for the folks, the 71 that are hearing me say it now, you can be the greatest stock investor in the world and have all the money in the world. It does not guarantee you success. Furthermore, if you think that that's going to supplement your spiritual and personal health, you are sorely mistaken. You are sorely mistaken. And I think Ryan is probably slightly a victim of that. Okay. I think Graham, by his admission this week, is slightly a victim of that. I think some of the other channels, I think Jeremy's probably so naive that he's probably caught up in his own world, that he probably envisions himself being the king of his own world anyway. So he'll probably be fine. Okay. But for the rest of those folks that actually kind of wear their heart on their sleeve a little bit, those are the folks that I'd like to talk to him, to be honest with you. I don't know Graham Stephan. He seems like a pretty legit, pretty honest fella. His YouTube videos are phenomenal. He does a great job. He doesn't need my endorsement. I'm just a little YouTube channel, but I'm a hell of a lot better person than I am reflected by a small YouTube project. Okay. That doesn't define me in the least. Okay. This just is an addition to me. It doesn't define me at all. Okay. All right. Yeah, that was a fun collaboration, man. I do wish him all the best. No doubt about it. I'd love to do a conference with him someday. That may be in the works. So no doubt about it. We'll make that happen, but I need to get successful first. So I need J-Mac to do some more drinking from the coffee mug and some more supporting. I will continue to support him if he continues to meet me 50%. Continues to support. So let's get there, man. Let's get it done. All right, let's get it done. Okay, let's start sharing the message, man, and bringing some folks on to those folks that we're pretty downright rest assured are honest and doing this for the right reasons here. I've got Ernest in the group here, my good friend. Maybe you can take that tax loss. I always push these tax questions to Ernest. I just hate the topic, man. Taxes is like, it goes hand in hand with investing. I get it, but Jesus, man, if I had to go to work every day and deal with taxes, oh my God, just ridiculous. Not my cup of tea.
I do my own taxes, but holy moly, just not an expert on the topic. But J-Max calling out Ernest there and saying hello. I would do a conference with Ernest anytime. Ernest is probably the #1 smartest guy that I've met online, no doubt about it. Yeah, if you don't believe me, kick into my Facebook group. The guy basically runs that Facebook group, and he's very, very sharp, very sharp. I'm lucky to have him in the group. I hope I never lose him because he's freaking awesome. He's just awesome. Part of the family here on the Independent Investor channel, no doubt about it. That guy, you betcha. Yeah, I don't do a whole bunch of educational ones. Basic question and answer. I know I wanted to answer basic cues in the video format. I'm not sure if you're talking about a live stream there. How about a portfolio update soon? Are you talking to me, K97, or are you talking to Financial Investor? Because I'm rolling those out in a big way on the schedule. I'm going to probably be doing it Monday, Tuesday of every week. We'll be doing a new count, a new review, going through different aspects, and I'm going to be leveraging that opportunity to talk about different aspects of the account. So kind of giving the update, but I don't want it to get dry either. I want to take the opportunity to explore the platform a little bit and use that to offer the features and functionality of the platforms. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. It seems M1 Auto Invest proceeds from sells regardless of cash balance control setting. Yeah, that's part of my criticism. See, Greg, when Greg talks, everybody should listen because I don't want M1 Finance to be that one thing that it was like, okay, it's bestowed upon all of us here on earth. It's a gift from heaven. Okay, it's just an account, and it does have some things. I don't know if it's warranted to have such the positive response that it gets all the time. Robinhood, definitely. I do. Everybody loves Robinhood, and I don't get the attraction. Okay, but M1 Finance, I like it for what it is. Let's just be fair about that. And if I can just dollar cost average and keep those accounts in there, keep them auto funding, keeping that $25 going to the lowest section of pie in the portfolio, I'm happy with that. But as far as when I liquidate that account someday, if I ever do, it's going to be, okay, M1, transfer it over to this brokerage account. I'm done. Close it all down, and I'll close it all down at the same time. And that's what I envision for new investors. When you get up to that $25,000 or $50,000 incentive threshold, I would expect that you're starting to look at some of those major brokerages and making sure that you've invested your way up to that 50 grand. Now you're eligible for some of those incentive thresholds. Some of them kick in at 25,000. It does for Merrill, right? So 30 trades might be enough for you to plop over to a major brokerage house, close down the M1. You've leveraged it for what it's worth. Every single dollar cost average, maybe you wanted to invest in that every week. You could do that free, okay? It allows you to do that. Whereas an account like a Vanguard is going to charge you $7.99 or $5.99 or whatever the hell they've justified to nickel and dime you to death for no good reason, none. Okay, it's gonna cost you. Okay, and I like the freedom in that M1 account. First Trade is no different. You have the freedom to buy one. You could buy one share every day. So unlimited free trades, guys. Use your imagination. Okay, this stuff didn't exist when I started investing. It exists for you. Don't take it for granted. All right, good stuff. Sup, peeps? Hidden Freedom Investing. I don't know if you're a channel creator, but props to you if you are. And thanks for coming on and spending a little time here. I give you a small shout out. I always do that for the channel creators. I'm all about empowering the channel creators' initiatives and what they're doing, as long as your initiatives are genuine, no doubt about it. If I think that there's something other than genuine nature, I won't provide that. But most of the folks that pop in here, if not all of them, are just that. They do a really good job on their respective platforms, so they get a little call out from me. If it helps them, great. If it doesn't, well, it's free. So Travis said First Trade is awesome. It really is. It's killer. I like their desktop and their mobile app.
the improvement was really a good improvement from the original. It's a lot cleaner now, a lot more aesthetically appeasing. But the desktop version of their platform is quite good. It's impressive for a free trading platform. Jesus, guys, what do you expect? I had a few guys come back and throw tomatoes at me and be like, this sucks, blah, blah, I hate it. Okay, you hate it. That's great. Go with a major brokerage house and pay $8 a trade if that's what you want to do. All right, I'm not your dad. I'm not telling you what to do. We're exploring options. Use it or don't use it. Okay, the choice is completely yours. All right. I feel like I've done a wonderful service in just introducing you to the opportunity to maybe to take a look at it. I didn't know either one of these existed without YouTube. Now I do, and I use both of them. Okay. So this is the type of thing that I'm looking to just at least open the door a little bit for you guys. So that's good to hear, Travis. I appreciate that. If somebody were to come on here and say it sucks, I want to hear that too. All right. If I have reason to believe that it shouldn't be an affiliate of the Independent Investor channel, I'll drop them like a bad habit. They're gone. They're gone. I don't care. I endorse that product because I experienced it for a while. I felt comfortable doing so. It fits like a round peg on this particular program. It offers Roth IRAs, done. It offers self-directed Roth IRAs, done. Dividend reinvestment, free of charge. Dollar cost averaging, free of charge. Unlimited free trades, done. What else do you need, man? It's all free. All you got to do is go explore it for yourself and start enjoying it. Those are big deals. Maybe I'm not dancing up and down and jumping through firing hoops, but I mean that's exciting enough for an investor who actually heard me. Okay, I really try to help investors understand that if you can answer this question for yourself before you go explore both of those platforms, before you make your decision, M1 Finance is better for a passive investor, someone who wants to put their money away in a low-cost ETF or single stock and not be trading in and out of it. They hold it and invest, and they're looking to grow wealth over the long term. I can't put it any simpler than that. The first trade opportunity allows you a little bit more of a standard platform that will allow you to be active. If you want to trade, buy and sell stock, you can do that on first trade, or you can be passive. I'm actually the latter on first trade. I'm passive in the portfolio that I reviewed for you guys this week. I have not sold one single share out of that account, not one. So I'm passive on an account that can work for both. Okay, that's about as transparent as I can be for you guys and give you a little bit of forewarning or forward thinking idea on both of what those cutting edge products offers, and that they're quite good. They're quite good. All right, cruise down here. Yeah, I made a video on that, how to control it. Awesome. The Mohawk video. Lydia's in the group here. Very cool. That's so nice to see you, Lydia. I hope all is well with you. I hope all is well out there in the West Coast. It's great to see you pop in here, and just awesome to see you. I added a new featured channel to my repertoire. You'll see right next to you, I've got JMac Investing in there with you. So, all right, evening, Lydia. So I haven't done a live stream in a long time. I need to. It's fun. Yeah, you were good at it too. You were a natural. It's taken me 64 to get quite as good as you were in the first couple. So I thought you were good. I thought you had the delivery for it. You were engaging, really good stuff. I don't know. I just think people are interested in understanding where different people are coming from. And I don't know why you don't stoke it up. You'd have the support of my group. You know, it's not like you're going to fire up the mother machine and nobody's going to come in and watch you. I've kicked in there a few times and watch you when I have time. I think you were doing it there for a while right after the Independent Investor live stream. I think that works well too. You've got the time difference. It works. Throw down. All right. Provide you a little bit of motivation, out of which I got this week from another YouTube creator. All right. Good stuff. Good evening. I'm new to the channel. Question for somebody new. What is better to do in the Roth IRA, a total market index or an S&P 500? That's a really good question. I've had a lot of people kind of honestly beat me up over my VTI, VOO video. I own them both. I own them both in different accounts. I think you can own one or the other and be just fine. I was talking about what I thought was a lot more of a diversified product in the total market index with the VTI. I like both of them, but there's been a lot of people that have hit me up and said I was absolutely wrong on that video. I'm not really sure how I'm wrong if one has 3,600 companies that it's exposed to and the VOO has the S&P 500. I'm a simple thinker, so you'll have to explain that to me. I understand about the year-over-year rate of performance in the VTI, which is the total market index from 2001, I believe, has performed at about a 7% clip. In the S&P 500, the VOO has only been around since 2008, 2009 timeframe. So it's only seen a lot of appreciation since it's been out. But don't get too caught up on those two fine products. I think you're splitting hairs a little bit. Asking the right question, no doubt about it. I think it's a great question. More people need to hear this. If you don't understand or have heard my philosophy on it, you can certainly go on there and watch the video that answers this very question. I go back and forth. It's the video with the boxing gloves, VTI versus VOO, because I was getting this question a lot. So I figured I would just come out with a video on it. And since then, I've just opted to own them both. I thought for my wife, it was a wonderful fit. And then for me, having the VOO, the exposure to both, and I'm up 6% right now in both of them. I think you can win. Just do not miss this in my message, okay? A VOO or a VTI in a self-directed account is much more powerful than it would be in a managed account, okay? Because they're going to take fees in the managed account. They are not in the self-directed account, and that's going to make a big difference depending on what your investment time horizon's going to be, okay? VOO has a comparable index fund. If that's what you want to do, you can do that and get similar, if not identical, performance in that. That's my most popular video that I've uploaded with about 44,000 views. That's the one where I actually drill down and actually disclose my discovery that there's not a whole lot of difference between index funds and ETFs. It's just the aesthetics that I point out in that video, that the ETFs trade more like a stock, but the index fund is more like a mutual fund that trades after hours like a mutual fund does. I don't like the $19.95 transaction fee in the index fund. I don't see any purpose in paying that just so you can have your account available after hours, as opposed to just buying the underlying ETF. I look at the overlay of the performance and they're exactly the same. So I don't get the idea of opting into the index fund and being subject to that transaction fee, okay? I would rather just go with the ETF, okay? That's an awesome question. Thank you so much. Jorge Gomez, thank you for making your way in. It's great stuff. My investment journey good down, says the harbor from you this week. Oh, right on. Greg must be down in San Pedro, California, a place that has a special place in my heart, no doubt. Hey, Ryan, you mentioned a while back in the video of yours that you play guitar. I've already answered that. Oh, how cool. Long Beach. Yeah, you claim Long Beach. I'm sure nobody wants to claim San Pedro. I live in Palos Verdes. Yeah, sure you do. She knows what I'm talking about. All right. Nobody claims Torrance either. I used to play golf there, though, for sure. Good stuff. And Sushi 21 is right there on the main boulevard there, man, in San Pedro. God, man, I would love to go back there. That sushi man, he loved us. Good stuff. You both now, whichever's low. I'm not sure where this is going. Luke Major, awesome. So I'm not sure if you're referring to me rambling on for 2 hours. I do that. Hopefully from 64 live streams, people can extract some value. I usually try to aim for the 2 hour mark. If to answer your question, that's where I'm aiming. 2 hours.
So that's where I'm aiming. So if you're not interested in me wasting your time, you're welcome to exit stage right if you'd like. Absolutely. Ryan, you're the only one who seemed genuine and encouraged me on the Roth IRA. Good stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I gave you as genuine as an answer as I could. Right above you, I've got Jennifer Blaze. I bought 4 shares of Berkshire A, Berkshire B. Wow. I saw the A right after the B and I was like, right on. That's a good way of spending $1 million. Right on. So sorry. I was like, Jesus, Jennifer, right on. You're doing quite well for yourself. So I could spend my whole life savings on 2 shares of Class A. All right. Thinking about selling all shares, made some money, but thinking it was not really a good buy. Definitely a good buy. You're doing okay. I just don't know if I would hold Berkshire Hathaway exclusively in the portfolio. Of all the financials that I own, I don't own Berkshire Hathaway. I really love the company. It's excellent. It's a great holdings company. The business is phenomenal. It's a money machine. It's set up to generate income the way that it's supposed to. So it's a really, really good company, a holding company. Okay. Getting into better individual stocks with help from all of you. So Jennifer, I think it comes down, I just cannot emphasize enough the essence of your question is so sincere. It's so sincere. This is where we are, right here. So I don't want to ask you over a live stream, but some of the questions that I would expect that you would answer for yourself. And I contend that people have the answers for themselves. They just need to have somebody offer back what those important questions are. And that's your age, your risk tolerance to the stock market. Investing now at an all-time high is seemingly easy because it seems very, very euphoric in a way. Everybody's making money right now, so therefore it's easy for me to justify. Whereas the flip side of it is nobody wants to invest when it's down, and that is the best time to invest. But why are you investing? Some of those questions that I could ask you a little bit. You don't have to answer them on the live stream, but I would ask you to answer those for yourselves for sure. From a general perspective, I think I would ask you why you're circumventing ETF investing, why you're opting directly for single stock. And you would probably say something like, I already have an existing 401k that I'm investing in. I have a good savings amount and I don't have any debt. Okay. Those are some of the things that I would want to check out before I started just rapid fire throwing some of the stock picks at you that I own. Okay. For you to read between the lines, of course, and say, wow, I'm familiar with this business. I like Estee Lauder. Okay, I can understand buying that business. Or I like Home Depot. I can understand buying a Lowe's or a Citigroup or JP Morgan, etc. You get my point, right? But I always contend, again, and I've said this many times and I'll say it again, the stock picking seemingly is where everybody goes, and it's the easiest thing to do. Okay, the hard thing to do is to get people to get these answers right here. And I'm sure you have those answers. Since I was throwing out those rhetorical questions, you were probably saying, yeah, Ryan, I'm good. I'm 32 or I'm 24. Or I've got plenty of time. My time horizon is long. I'm 42. I'm your age. Whatever. It doesn't matter. You're answering these questions for yourself. I want to invest to gain dividend income in the future. That's a financial goal. I want to have financial security in the future. That's mine. You can have it. Okay. It's an admirable financial goal. I want to invest to secure my financial future, right? Things like that. Answering these questions here, moving from this side of the house, which is the status quo. Okay. Everybody thinks they've got to be an expert. Everybody thinks they need to have analyst quality, whether doing fundamental or technical analysis on a stock. Not necessary. I've been very successful in the stock market doing neither one of those. I don't need to. There's no need. All right. I don't need technical analysis to tell me that buying Apple stock is a good buy. I don't need to do that. Represented. Having a financial plan that's colorful
but doesn't have a lot of substance to it. Okay, the colored pamphlet, you bet. Dropping the barriers, being confused, being naive, right? If you can get those knocked off, that'll help you understand. But if you're up and you want to take profit in those companies, back to your question, take the profit. No doubt about it. Leverage some of that profit to pick up some of those. I can't tell you how much of this money has been rolled back in as house money, and now I'm just buying and accumulating shares off of house money. That's where it really becomes fucking awesome. I talk about those hard-earned dollars being the hardest dollars to invest for yourself. Those hard-earned dollars when you're just starting out and you're earning that paycheck, and those real dollars are getting sunk on groceries and they're getting sunk on gasoline. It's very, very difficult to take that first hard $25 and put that into an investment account and not take that money and spend it on something else. Okay? Very hard to do that. But sooner or later, something funny happens where you actually start to really, really desire that pay yourself mentality, and you won't substitute anything else but that program. Okay. So Jennifer, you put a lot in that comment. You really did. And I could probably make like 10 YouTube videos on everything you just put there. Hopefully my comment back to you helps you maybe give you a little bit of encouragement down a lot of different avenues there that you had dropped into the community. Really cool. Thank you for sharing. Awesome. I love it. All right. You're okay. Good. Let's see. I'll cruise down. I got stock investor guy here in the house. I made a video on it in my channel. Feel free to check it out. Good management. So I'm sharing the board. Came back from bankruptcy. Main thing, good leadership. So the stock investor guy I've seen as well. So shout out to you. I apologize. I'm getting to you at the end of my live stream. I am losing my voice. So my shout out to you is going to be an hour and 41 minutes old, but nonetheless, thank you for coming on and spending your time. Certainly, it's good stuff. Yes, YouTube and Facebook get the best of us sometimes. I think so. I think so. I've really got to fight it for my kids, man. No doubt about it. I'll take them outside and just take them outside. Go. This is what I did when I was younger, man. I was down at the pond, trying to catch bullfrogs, pulling up foxtails from the middle of the pond, skinny dipping in the pond. We didn't care. We were in the country, baby. I had an old ball that I used to kick around from morning until night in the summer. That's how I grew up. I used to build stuff with my hands, go collect sticks and build a fort. Kids don't do that anymore, man. It's scary. All right. That whole thing with me and my wife, that's real. It's seemingly vaping is more socially accepted than marriage. It's like we're destroying the sanctity of marriage. It's wild. I don't get it. I don't get the discussion. I don't want to make it political at the end of the live stream. But I think this whole equality thing and trying to, trying to say that men and women are equal, they're not. My wife does so much more better than I do. It's not even funny. That's the damn truth of it. I think some of the things that she is attracted to me on is that I'm a put my head down type of fella and make it the hell happen at all cost. And I think that's, if I was going to give myself some level of compliment, that's the attractive part about me, is that she looked at me the first time she met me and she could tell I was serious. And I am very devoted and very serious. All right. I think we're losing some of that, man, in some of the younger generation. And I don't know how we turn the ship around. I don't know, other than just provide a positive example and show what may be possible. I'm not really sure if I'm a big advocate of dating websites. I'm not really sure what you have to find somebody that you have a bunch of similarities with. I don't get that. Me and Yona are completely polar opposites. And together we're perfect. Good stuff. All right. Almost to the end of this deal. Your financial foundations I'm holding Berkshire long term. It's my brother's got Berkshire Hathaway as well. It really is a stock that can be bought and held forever. It can be a cornerstone in the portfolio, one of those that you just add in there. I really could find a place in my portfolio for it. It's just I'm responding to Financial Foundations, who I really like that comment back. It gives me some insight on where they're coming from, and what they're looking to do is put those good quality assets in the portfolio and hold them long term. I'm talking 3 to 5 years, even longer. You could do, but minimum 3 to 5 is what you're looking at, to allow the stock to actually work for itself. But I think you're right. I'm just very heavy in financials right now. I own all the big five, a lot of regional exposure, a couple Canadian banks as well. So pretty heavy on the financial scene right now. Yeah, appreciate your offering that for sure. I'm going to get to the end of the live stream. Certainly start to button it up here. An hour and 45 minutes on another successful Friday night live stream. I just don't want to let it go, man. It's a lot of fun. Try to get down to the end here. I blocked him. Is he still going? I don't know who got blocked. Did I miss something? I'll have to re-review. I think I dropped a bunch of comments in the thread, and it might have skipped over somebody that's not really happy with me. That's fine. They cannot be happy. I'll send them a refund for the time that they've spent on the Independent Investor live stream. I'll send them a refund, certainly. Yeah, I offer a refund. I do. Yeah, it's good stuff. Anyway, almost to the end. There is a reason most plumbers are men and most nurses are women. Somebody's realistic. I don't mean to, you know what I mean? And that can be a controversial statement, but I tell you what, I work with a lot of women that are way better at a lot of things that men are not very good at. It's just funny. Like, it's okay to say stuff like that, you know? I just, man, real women are attracted to men who are real men and vice versa. It just, I could tell you some real stuff that could really be controversial, but I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. Good grief. This new way of thinking is just baffling to me and somewhat entertaining, to be honest with you. So anyway, you noticed a change to Jenna after talking to you, J-Mac. I noticed you noticed I changed to Gen X after talking to you, J-Mac. People only picked up on Gen X, not on X dividend. Laughed loud. So I'm kind of at the end of the live stream here. I'm trying to find this person. I enjoy that. I really do. Because here's the funny thing, and I'll close with this, guys. We've been going about 2 hours anyway. I really try to put a twist around the live stream to allow opportunity for folks to come on here and do what Jennifer did. Okay, she just hit me up and said thanks. Okay, that means everything to me. So somebody who comes on and says, where is this thing going? Well, I don't know, man. You tell me where the status quo is going for a bunch of people. You tell me that having a million heads in the sand, you tell me if that's acceptable. You tell me if Edward Jones having $1 trillion of assets under management is acceptable. You think that's money well spent? You think that some of that money might be able to be retained on the side of the individual investor? Do you honestly think that you need to seek out representation to enter into the stock market? You don't. You don't. You can enter your money, your dollars, dollar for dollar, into the New York Stock Exchange or into any major exchange the way that you dictate. All right. And guess who gets to be the beneficiary from all that stuff? Do you think there's a middleman in between there that gets to benefit from that decision that you've made to empower yourself? Hell no. All right. So when somebody comes on and says, where's this thing going? I would fight back a little bit and say, where the hell have we been? And you tell me where we're going. Okay. I know the path that I'm on. I'm just trying to share that path with you. Okay. If I shut this channel down tomorrow, I would still continue on my path. All right. And I could re-engage 20 years from now and tell everybody that I could come onto YouTube and pose with my Ferrari and tell everybody I'm a millionaire. I'm not doing that. I'm spending my time now to not only help me, but to help you. Okay. That's always been the focus of the channel. I think I've got a few things figured out in finances, okay? And here's the funny thing. The validation that comes from people who come onto the channel and they're like, dang, man, I've got 25 grand, Ryan, thank you. Thank you. Or the people who I answer a simple question for, and it's like in a 1 minute or 2 minute response, they're like, wow, that's amazing. I didn't really think about those questions, man. Now he kind of put me on a path to answer some of those questions for myself. That's legit, okay? But that's it, for somebody like myself who is always aware and cognizant of looking out for the individuals, subscriber base who come into the channel, folks that come in and they know perhaps maybe I could offer a stock market course and make tens of thousands of dollars. I don't know, but I don't care. Okay. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to regurgitate information that I know is publicly available for freaking free. It's free. So at the very least, we can spend a little bit of time coming on and engaging in dialogue about empowering individuals' lives, because this stuff is empowering. All right. And it's starting to become validated from case after case after case after case. If people hit me up and be like, Ryan, I'm at my first 10 grand. I just made my first 10 grand, Ryan. Ryan, I just got to my first 25,000, man. Thank you for explaining the steps. Thank you for breaking it down. Thank you for not coming onto YouTube and posing as a millionaire and promising that everybody else can get there. Thank you for coming onto YouTube and actually declaring to people that they may not actually ever become a millionaire. All right. There's a stint of reality for you guys. All right. And the more we can embrace reality, we'll start to understand what is actually possible in life, not only in investing, but in a lot of other different facets in life. Guys, I want to thank you so much. It's been probably the most successful live stream I've done. I say that mostly at the end of every single one of my live streams. But this one, we topped a very, very interesting count in the community. Had a lot of different exposure. I'm sorry if you were a channel creator and you came in and did not get called out in a timely manner. But for some of those folks that really came in at the beginning of the live stream, Gen X and J Mac and Financial Investor and Lydia popping in at the beginning, those guys are going to get my full attention anyway, because I'm on your time, straight up, and you've spent your time coming on and helping me support. The least I can do is help you support your message back, and that's what I do, and that's what I do every single Friday for you guys. All right. So without further ado, I will be signing off. We will re-engage for live stream number 65 next week, next Friday. We will continue rolling on. Please keep your eyes open for the post tomorrow. It's going to be the portfolio highlights. I think you guys are going to appreciate that. It's going to be a good watch. I really was happy with that content. But guys, like always, thank you so much for coming in and for some of the questions that were posed in the group here tonight. I had a lot of fun answering some of those questions, guys. So be well and have a great, great weekend. And we will see you next Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern time for the live stream Independent Investor channel. Thank you so much, guys. Take it easy.